The intelligence audit. Why your mind feels like a cage. Here is something most people never stop to consider about being really intelligent. Most people assume it's a total flex, like you've somehow got the cheat codes to life and you're just out here winning in 4K. But here is the part nobody talks about. For a lot of high IQ people, that edge in thinking creates a unique kind of quiet suffering. You're standing in a room full of people, nodding and smiling, while your brain is literally screaming because the vibe is too shallow. You aren't being an elitist jerk, you're just redlining while everyone else is in cruise control. Before we dive into the data, do me a favor. If you've ever felt like your own mind is a cage you can't escape, hit that subscribe button right now. It helps keep this psychology engine running for people who actually think for a living. In this video, I'm going to help you understand the default mode loop, why your brain refuses to shut up at 2 a.m., dopamine deserts, why ordinary life feels like a boring glitch, the communication gap, why small talk feels like actual physical pain, the 70% protocol, how to kill the analysis paralysis that's stalling your life. Let's look at the machinery. Why do you overthink every single thing until it's totally cooked? Research in cognitive neuroscience suggests that people with higher intellectual capacity have a hyperactive default mode network, or the DMN. To put that in 10th grade terms, the DMN is your brain's screensaver. For most people, it's just pretty pictures. For you, it's a high-stakes simulation lab that never sleeps. I mean, you aren't just thinking, you're running 500 scenarios for a conversation you had 3 days ago. It gets deeper. Dr. Leda Hollingsworth identified the communication gap. When your mind naturally looks for systemic patterns or why the world is falling apart, talking about the weather or how was your weekend feels like sandpaper on your brain. It's a dopamine deficit. Your reward system is calibrated for high-density data. When that stimulation isn't there, you don't just feel bored, you feel restless at a neurological level. You're starving for meaning in a world that's obsessed with the surface. If you finally feel seen, take a second to hit that like button. And do me a solid, comment the word unlocked below and tell me that one weird thing you obsess over that nobody else gets. I'm reading every single one to build our next blueprints. Now, let's get into the part that's actually holding your potential hostage: analysis paralysis. You see so many variables in so many ways things could go wrong that you end up doing nothing. You're smart, but you're stuck. Here is your protocol to reclaim your sovereignty. First, the 70% rule. Your brain wants 100% certainty before you act. In the real world, that's a lie. If you have 70% of the data, move. Your brain is fast enough to solve the rest while you're in motion. Second, intellectual insourcing. Insourcing. Stop expecting NPCs to understand your depth. Stop looking for validation from people who aren't even playing the same game as you. Trust your internal map. Finally, understand the shadow reframe. Your overthinking isn't a flaw, it's unapplied energy. If you don't give your mind a massive, high-stakes problem to solve, it will invent one out of your mistakes from 3 years ago. You aren't too much, you're just a high-performance machine that needs a bigger track to run on. Intelligence isn't just an advantage, it's a specific way of experiencing the world. Understanding that doesn't make the struggle disappear, but it turns your confusion into clarity. And maybe for a mind that is always searching for patterns, maybe the most important one to find is the one that finally explains you. I'll see you in the next one.